Joey, have you ever been so lost that you started pretending you knew exactly where you were going?
Oh, absolutely. I once walked confidently for almost 10 minutes, hoping I'd magically find the place instead of asking anyone for help.
That's exactly what happened to me. I kept walking, checking my phone, and smiling at people, but inside, I had no idea where I was.
I think we've all done that. Somehow, asking for directions feels scarier than wandering around the wrong street for another 15 minutes.
You know, the funny part is, I finally gathered the courage to ask someone. They smiled kindly, gave me simple directions, and I still walked the wrong way.
Oh no. Did you mix up left and right? Or were you too busy pretending you understood everything?
A little of both, honestly. I heard every word they said, but my brain suddenly decided it wasn't accepting English anymore.
That's such a real feeling. Sometimes we know the words perfectly at home, but hearing them outside makes everything disappear.
Exactly. And later, I realized the directions were actually very easy. I was just nervous, and that made everything sound much harder.
If you've ever felt nervous asking for directions or struggled to understand someone's answer, today's conversation is going to help you feel much more confident.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak with Joey and Phoebe, the cozy podcast where you improve your English through fun, everyday conversations.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Phoebe. If you're a strong A1 or A2 English learner, you're in the perfect place. Just relax, listen, and enjoy the conversation.
Today's topic is something we've all experienced at least once: asking for directions when you're completely lost.
Or pretending you're not lost, even though you've walked past the same building 3 times already.
I've definitely done that. Somehow, walking in circles feels less embarrassing than stopping someone for directions.
But here's the good news. Asking for directions doesn't have to be difficult, and neither does understanding the answer.
Today, we'll learn the most useful expressions through real conversations, not boring vocabulary lists.
So whether you're traveling, exploring a new city, or just building confidence in English, today's episode is for you.
Ready to find your way?
Let's get started. Joey, what's the first thing you do when you're somewhere new and you can't find a place?
Honestly, I look around for a minute, hoping I'll suddenly recognize something. If that doesn't work, I usually check my phone.
Same here. But sometimes the map isn't enough, especially in crowded streets or busy markets.
That's true. And sometimes your phone says, "You've arrived," while you're standing there thinking, "Arrived where?"
Exactly. That's when it's time to ask someone. But I'll admit, I still get nervous speaking to strangers in English.
You know what helps? Starting with one simple sentence. I always ask, "Excuse me, could you help me?" People are usually happy to help.
I like that because it sounds polite. Then you can simply ask, "How do I get to the train station?" Or, "Where's the nearest cafe?"
Right. You don't need perfect English. A clear question and a friendly smile are often enough.
Joey, let's imagine we're visiting a new city together. We've been walking for 20 minutes and we're completely lost.
Sounds realistic already. Okay, I think I see someone we can ask.
Excuse me, could you tell us how to get to the city museum?
The other person would probably smiles and says, "Sure, go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left at the traffic lights."
I'd probably nod and smile, but secretly wonder, wait, what exactly is a block?
Good question. A block is the distance between 2 streets. It's a word you'll hear a lot, especially in American English.
So if someone says, "Go straight for 2 blocks," they simply mean keep walking until you've passed 2 streets.
Exactly. Then they said, "Turn left at the traffic lights." That's another useful phrase you'll hear almost everywhere.
Let's keep following those directions. We walked straight, turned left, and now I think we're close.
Me too. Oh, look, there's another sign. Maybe we're finally going the right way.
Wait a second. I think I can see the museum, but I'm not completely sure. Is that the building with the big glass entrance?
I don't think so. The person said it would be next to a large park, and I don't see any trees around here.
Oh, you're right. I was so excited that I almost walked into the wrong building again. That would have been embarrassing.
Don't worry, it happens more often than people admit. Let's keep looking around for another landmark.
Oh, look over there. There's a coffee shop on the corner. Maybe we should ask someone inside just to be certain.
Good idea. Excuse me, is the city museum near here?
Then the barista smiles and says, "Yes, it's across from the park. Just walk another minute and you'll see it."
That's another phrase I hear all the time. Across from. It simply means on the opposite side of the street.
So if the museum is across from the park is on one side and the museum is directly opposite.
Exactly. It's much easier to remember when you imagine both places facing each other.
All right, let's cross the street carefully. I think we're finally getting close.
Wait, there it is! The big glass entrance, the park, and even the museum sign. We made it!
Finally! It only took us 2 questions, 1 helpful barista, and a little confidence.
And that's the important part. We didn't need perfect English. We just needed the courage to ask.
I think that's something many English learners forget. People usually care more about helping you than judging your grammar.
Exactly. A simple question, a polite smile, and listening carefully can take you almost anywhere.
And if you don't understand the first time, that's completely okay. You can always ask, "Could you say that again, please?"
Or even, could you speak a little more slowly? Most people will happily repeat themselves.
See? Asking for directions isn't really about knowing hundreds of words. It's about using a few useful phrases with confidence.
And today, you've already learned several of the most common ones without even realizing it. All right, Phoebe, I have a little challenge for you. Imagine I'm visiting your city for the first time. Can you help me find the library?
Ooh, I like this. Okay, let's pretend we're standing outside the train station. Go ahead and ask me.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the library, please?
Of course. Go straight until you reach the traffic lights, then turn right. The library is next to the post office.
That was easy to follow. I think even beginners could understand those directions.
That's the secret. You don't need complicated words. Short, clear directions are usually the best directions.
Now it's your turn to practice with us. We'll ask a question, then give you a few seconds to answer before we do.
Ready? Imagine you're asking someone for the nearest bus stop. What would you say?
One simple answer could be, "Excuse me, where's the nearest bus stop?"
Perfect. Here's another one. Someone asks you how to get to the supermarket. What directions would you give?
You could say, "Go straight, turn left at the traffic lights, and it's across from the bank."
Great job. Remember, your answer doesn't have to match ours exactly. If it's clear and polite, you're doing well.
Confidence grows one conversation at a time. Every time you practice, speaking English becomes a little easier.
Before we finish, let's quickly review today's useful phrases together.
If someone says, "Go straight," they simply mean don't turn, just keep walking.
Turn left and turn right are probably the 2 most useful direction phrases you'll ever learn.
We also learned next to, which means 2 places are beside each other.
And across from means something is on the opposite side of the street.
Oh, before we move on, there's one more question I use almost every time I visit a new place. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to...
It's an excellent question. It's friendly, respectful, and works almost anywhere in the world.
Honestly, if you remember just these few expressions, you'll already feel much more confident asking for directions.
And the best way to remember them is simple. Use them. Practice with friends, family, or even while imagining you're exploring a new city.
Well, we finally made it to the museum, and I think we picked up some really useful English along the way.
Totally agree with you, Joey. Today wasn't about learning dozens of new words. It was about using a few simple phrases with confidence.
So, the next time you're traveling and need help, don't be afraid to ask. Most people are happy to point you in the right direction.
And remember, it's completely okay if you don't understand everything the first time. Just smile and say, "Could you repeat that, please?" Or, "Could you speak a little more slowly?"
Trust me, we've all had those moments. Every conversation is another chance to improve, and every mistake helps you become a better English speaker.
Before we go, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever been lost in another city or asked someone for directions in English? Tell us your story in the comments.
And here's a fun challenge. Write one sentence using today's phrases like go straight, turn left, next to, or across from. We'll read some of our favorites.
If today's episode helped you feel more confident, don't forget to follow the podcast and share it with a friend who's learning English too.
Thanks for spending a little part of your day with us. We always love having you here.
Until then, take your time. Keep listening. Keep speaking.
And don't forget to enjoy the little moments in your day.
Take care, everyone.